Generally, they were 20 to 40 acres, but I could be wrong. Also, it was a 2002 date where we started this. It's earlier than some of the other subdivisions that were allowed without complete road improvements. I think there was a Merritt subdivision, and then there was a subdivision after that from one of the parcels that probably really ticked off the Planning Commission when they started thinking about Vista del Lago. And I must say that I believe this application even came in before that. And it's too bad that the timing didn't have it come in before that one. I think about 1991, my late husband did a subdivision of a 20-acre parcel off, and we were allowed. It was 140 acres. He subdivided off 20. And I believe we were allowed to keep a 2 residential unit zoning on the 120 acres that was left, which is what I started with now. And I know that on the checklist, they did write in hand, it's not part of the checklist on the subdivision, that it was just going to be limited to 1 residential unit. I don't think I liked that at the time. I talked to them, and they said the subdivision committee meeting was not the place to bring this up. You should bring it up with the Planning Commission and or the Board of Supervisors. So I did know that I was going to have this issue. And I must admit, and I'm not sure I should even bring this up, but at one time I thought in the subdivision committee there was going to be a large water tank put up on the 20-acre parcel that would help alleviate the water situation from a fire point of view, and I think it got dropped, and I don't know why. But I'm just requesting that my property value keep as much value as possible. I've given up any kind of capital or gain from it. And maybe allow me to have my sister here if she ends up needing a place to live. And it's that simple. But I understand their arguments too, so that's why I'm here. As far as the road, I think both roads are kept in pretty decent shape, although they may not meet the total requirements. I don't see a big problem with the roads. There's the issue of making a left-hand turn on Route 20, and I think you just have to be patient and safe. And to me, it's no worse than trying to get off the freeway at rush hour on State Street or Talmadge. You just need to sit there and wait for a break. I can see, and I have rules. If I see anybody around either of the corners, I don't go. If they're empty, then I go. So that's it, and I'm open to any kind of questions. Is that the order of things? Question me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Questions to the applicant? Supervisor Pinchas.
This road, how many people is it in common to?
Ellis Ranch Road?
Yeah.
5 homes. There's 1 vacant property. I mean, nobody lives there, but I would imagine someone will live there at some point. There's an older couple, 2 older couples. There's a single woman, and she sometimes has friends.
In,
5 residences.
including Mark's.
No, he comes off of Vista del Lago.
Okay.
Would you like
Look
to
at
see the
this map.
property map? Would
Yeah,
you like to see the
I was looking
subdivision
at the
map?
aerial
I
photograph
went
here.
just before that, John.
Well, that's what I wanted answered, is how many people are in common with this road that use it in common.
Okay, there are 2 roads involved. One is Elledge Ranch Road. It's a road that feeds my house and 4 others. The other is Vista del Lago Road, an
Which
entirely
joins,
separate road.
which comes to Highway 20,
Both go to Highway 20,
separate locations.
separate locations. They're half mile apart as far as them coming out on Highway 20.
Okay.
Del Lago is a much longer road. Coming off of it is King Ranch.
But this 100-acre parcel you would access that?
You could access it from either road.
Yep.
It goes between the 2 roads. In fact, quite a bit of Vista del Lago Road does go through that 120-acre parcel.
Here's a better map for the board. Here's Vista del Lago. There's several access points. Other questions of the applicant? Okay, anything additional you want to add? You'll have time to come back.
Yeah, I know that. I just would add one other point, is I do think that to widen these roads would cause removal of a lot of trees, potential slippage of dirt, and required. They're probably about 18-foot roads at this point. There may be some places on there's a great deal of concern from an environmental point of view of silting up the river. And so the lake. So it is quite, I agree with Frank, it is quite a, it would be quite an expensive thing. It would be an environmentally perilous thing to try to widen the roads. Maybe impossible in some ways.
What's the narrowest point? You say
On
your
any
average
of the
width is
roads?
18 foot wide. What's your narrowest point?
Probably 16 or 17, yeah. What happens is the guy I'm living with, and we have a tractor, we widen it every time we do the road. We can. But there's a couple places that are probably 16 or 17 that I don't think we can widen. Removed one tree and widened a turn, for example. And that's the road that has 5 units on it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll now open it up for public comment, and please step to the podium. If you have comments, state your name and keep your comments to 3 minutes, please.
Hello, my name is Mark Rogers. I'm the applicant. Kind of keep this short as I can and kind of not rehashing. I'm sorry?
You're the applicant for?
I'm the applicant that lives at 2500 Vista del Lago.
Okay, so then you have 20.
I'm the one paying for the subdivision.
Okay.
I should be under the applicant, I believe. now, Frank.
Mark Rogers is the applicant,
Yes.
so you have 20 minutes,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Well, I don't think I'll take,
I have a document here that states he is the applicant.
okay, I guarantee I won't take 20 minutes because
Okay.
public speaking is not my thing. It's not my forte. On the letter she wrote to you, if there's anybody questioning my character on a few of those notes, I did write kind of a rebuttal that's on your forms. I don't want to get into personal dealings here. Me and my wife, we do not take a position on her second residence. That's between her, in the future, the way we look at it. However, if her appeal does result in changes or the expenses by imposing greater road improvements that we are paying for, me and my wife, or conditions, then we would oppose this. As of right now, I'm in the middle of this subdivision. We just got the paving laid down before we heard about the appeal. We're in the process of doing all the brush clearing for CDF and in the process of putting more water on our property to help Chris out because her property has not put out enough water. So we are in the process in the middle of this right now. We feel the subdivision would collapse due to past and present issues regarding Elledge Ranch Road. Both, as you've heard from Chris and Frank, both of our residences where we live right now, we've lived there since 1999. And yes, I did live rent-free in a trailer for about 1.5 years, which I do appreciate from my father and Chris. We go to those residences on Vista del Lago, which is the road I'm fixing up right now in the middle of. Hers is Elledge Ranch Road. We do have nothing to do with that road. And I also want to state, we would love to have a second